everybody. It's Mr. McDonough, Gale Free Library, and I am here with my little polar bear friend. And then, oh yeah, we look back there. There's Mama Polar Bear and some other polar bear siblings. Oh, there's another one over here. We have a lot of polar bears out at the library right now because it's winter and snowy. And so when it's winter and snowy, I think about animals that live in wintry weather. So polar bears live on the North Pole. And today we're going to read a brand new book we got in at the library about polar bears. It's called The Lonely Polar Bear by Khoa. So I'm going to read this story to you all the way through first, and then we're going to talk about it a little, okay? The Lonely Polar Bear. There was a snowstorm that lasted for many days. The strong wind was wailing and crying. When the storm was finally over, a polar bear slowly crawled out of an icy cave. He was quite small. The little polar bear wandered around the vast snow-covered land looking for his mommy and his brothers. Suddenly, he saw a strange thing, a little spirit girl from the night sky. Oh, look. First, the polar bear's looking away. Oh, he stops. Oh, and now they're playing. Bear, little friend. Oh. The little spirit girl climbed onto the polar bear's back, and they walked on and on. They wandered very far. A long, long way together. Oh, look at all the fish underwater. One night, they saw an amazing sight up in the sky. Look at that. The little spirit girl said, "Look, Bear, the northern lights. My family is coming." It's time to come home. Oh, so you see, the other spirit kids are in the northern lights, and they're asking Spirit Girl to come home with them. Oh, and so the polar bear kept walking on his own. Bye, Spirit Girl. Puffins joined him as he swam. Polar bear continued swimming. The fish quickly swam by him. "Goodbye, bear." When the polar bear reached land, he continued walking. The elks greeted him with a big "Hello!" "Hello," said the polar bear, but he still hadn't found his family. Just to point out here, the artwork is very interesting. Instead of outlining these illustrations in black or dark color, they did it in white. You see how it's all outlined in white? That's very different. It makes it look, well, it makes it look more snowy. Kind of looks a little more magical that way. It's very pretty. The polar bear made many friends on his journey. Looks like it's a whole pod of dolphins. He met some noisy friends. Well, you know what those are. Penguins. and some quiet friends. You see the Arctic foxes. Arctic foxes, they're white in the winter, so you can't see them against the snow. Then they can sneak up on the little animals they need to eat. And also it protects them from getting eaten from bigger animals because you can't see them. They're the same color as the snow. Time passed and the polar bear grew older. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. But he wasn't as big as he should have been. There was little for him to eat on the slowly melting ice. Pieces of ice drifted farther and farther. Without his spirit friend, he felt lost. Polar bear fell asleep, began to dream. You can see he's dreaming about all the animals he saw on his journey. Oh, look, there's a narwhal with a tusk. He saw the dark winter sky filled with glowing sparkles. You know who's coming? Long time no see. Aw, Spirit Girl, she's in the lights. Lonely bear, I have always kept an eye on you. You can only see our light in winter when the sky is dark, but I am always here. It's okay, spirit friend. Don't worry. I made many other friends. I'm not lonely anymore. Somewhere in the snowy North Pole, a polar bear is sitting quietly and peacefully, enjoying his beautiful sky filled with northern lights. The end. Well, there are three things I want to talk about with this book. Now, first thing is about polar bears. So polar bears live in the North Pole. They live on the ice. And the problem in our world right now is because the planet is warming up because of all the things people do. You know, we put a lot of gases and toxins in the air. So it kind of warms up the air, which unfortunately is melting the ice. And when the polar bears lose the ice, they have no place to go. They hunt seals. They go down into the water from the ice. They go down, they grab a seal, and they bring it back up. And then they travel around. In the winter, it used to be all frozen, so they could walk anywhere to go fishing for seals. But now that the ice is melting, they are stuck. They often can't get enough to eat because they get stuck on a small piece of ice, and they can't get to other pieces of ice. And it's a problem. It's a problem in our world that our planet is warming, and polar bears are one of the most beautiful creatures on Earth. So we have to pay more attention to this as people and try to do what we can to make the climate better so that polar bears continue to exist in the wild. So that's one thing we're talking about in this book. But also, I like this other thing in the book, the Northern Lights. So the Northern Lights are this fireworks show that happens all winter long in the northern part of the planet. Northern Lights are called Aurora Borealis. And what it is, it's crazy. There's all these particles of sun energy that are always streaming from the sun, and some of them slip into our atmosphere, but we don't see them. You can only see them around the poles, North and South Pole, because the magnetic pole somehow excites the particles, and so they light up in the sky. It's a very simple explanation. So you can really only see it in the north or in the south, very south, like South Pole too. But we like to call Aurora Borealis is the Northern Lights. So if you're in Canada, you can see them all winter long. In Alaska, you can't really see them here. And the last thing I want to show you is this idea of spirit people in the air. So there are First Nations tribes, cultures throughout the world that believe that when someone passes away, that their spirits go into the sky. And and watch over people. So in northern cultures, they believe that the aurora borealis actually had the spirits of your ancestors, and they're always there. They're always there watching over you, which I think is a really beautiful thing to think about. So that's it. I hope you like that book, and I hope you're reading about polar bears, and we'll see you soon in the library, okay? Bye.